Hey guys, Marstingan here, bringing you another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video. So, just going to go through all of the stuff that is coming up on Global in the next couple of days. I like to do these get ready videos just before new content drops. It's something I've started doing recently and you guys seem to appreciate them. So basically what I do is I go over what is coming out and everything that you can do to prepare for that stuff now. Obviously, if you find yourself like with nothing really to do in game, especially as we near the end. Like, new stuff has come out on a Tuesday for the last couple of weeks, but, you know, we're at the weekend now, so chances are you have finished off all that stuff and you need something else to do. So, we're going to go through all of the things coming up and what you can do to prepare for them. So, this is the list on the front page of the wiki. The Trunks banner should release on Monday night or Tuesday morning for me in the UK. At the event reset time, and then the future Android's EZA comes out at the previous reset, the one where the news like updates in the evening, where the events like the Orb event and stuff reset, but you know, 6.5 hours before banners and stuff normally come out. So these guys technically are going to be the first thing to release. So this is the schedule on JP. This is what we are following along now for this celebration. Timeline might be accelerated slightly because the Trunks celebration took place over, I think it was almost 3 weeks on JP, which will give us, in fact, it'll probably be the same time frame now because that will lead us into Saiyan Day. So we have the two future Android EZAs. Post EZA, they are both Android. We are Android and siblings bond leads for 77%, so decent free-to-play leads. They also have their own typing as a sub-lead for 3 key and 50%. Not the craziest leaders, obviously, but decent free-to-play options. So 18, greatly raises attack, raises defense infinitely. I believe you're the same, yeah. So infinite stackers, obviously very good for difficult content and long-form events. They get a nice upgrade from their EZA, because they were always stackers before. But they get 17 gets attack and defense 100% at the start of the turn, additional 17% attack for each key sphere obtained, and then an additional attack and defense 70%, a medium chance of critting when your team has a future Android 18. So having a built-in chance to crit is obviously good, because you want to build this guy for additionals anyway, because he is a stacker. So getting the free crits is always nice. Then he launches an additional super attack when there's a Hybrid Saiyan or Earthlings category enemy. And then the 18, obviously similar stats, attack and defense 18% per rainbow key sphere obtained. And then she has a chance to dodge if there is a future 17 on the turn rather than crit. So she's obviously the better one defensively. She's still stacking defense but has that chance to dodge. And again, she gets an additional super attack against hybrids or earthlings. So these guys obviously getting an Extreme Z area. There's not a huge amount you can do to prepare for their EZA other than making sure that you have a second copy of them farmed up to SA5 ready to feed in once they are fully EZA'd. Obviously the event comes back and is live when their EZAs come out, so you don't have to waste keys if you would rather do it with stamina. But, you know, for some people, especially like I have a lot of story keys that I never use. So for me, I would rather use stamina to link level. So pre-farming units like this with keys is something that I find quite convenient. So obviously you can go ahead and do that. Then we have the actual release of the banner. So of course, you know, Trunks comes with his own new Dokkan Fest, so you can't pre-farm the medals for him or anything like that. But his summonable SSR form, if you are going to summon on the banner, his summonable SSR is just the Trunks team. So he does have a farmable super attack from the Trunks Super Strike mission. You can farm up a bunch of them, awaken them. You can only get them up to 50% unless you want to go all the way and awaken them with the medals from the second stage and get them to 100%. That means you would only guaranteed have to farm up 9 copies, but that is a massive pain, farming up all the medals. You could just farm. Normally I farm up, if I'm going for 50% on a super attack, I'll farm up like 20 and just see how we go from there. So obviously you can get those done for the Trunks. And then I know a lot of people want to summon on the banner, not even for Trunks specifically, but for this Heart Virus Goku, who is really, really good. But he is just a Super Saiyan Goku. So obviously Super Saiyan Goku at this point has tons of farmable SSRs in the game. You also can infinitely buy this SSR from the barbershop. So if you are somebody who link levels a lot, obviously nowadays the best link leveling stage is not one that gives out green gems anymore, but it always used to be. So if you've been link leveling for a while like me, I have a huge stockpile of green gems that I never use. So Really, you could just go ahead and buy 9 copies of this guy from the barbershop, awaken him to a UR, and then you're going to have a 100% chance. If you do pull Heart Virus Goku, you just get him straight to SA 10. So that's something you can prepare in advance, but that is only if you're going to summon. I'll do a separate video about the banner that I'll probably put out like the night before it comes out. Hopefully it's going to have a ticket pack. We've been seeing that a lot for Global, but I know for a lot of people in terms of stones, this banner is a big skip. So if you do summon though, both these units are very good, and yeah, they have farmable super attacks. So after the initial stuff, this is the JP schedule again, we moved into the beginning of next month, and we get 5 EZAs coming up. So these were, if we look at the actual timeline here, so they were only separated by a few days. So I'm not sure exactly when they're going to release all of this stuff. I don't think they'll wait a week after the banner to bring these out, but the Trunks celebration is a very, very short celebration. So we have the EZAs for Prime Battle LR Trunks, STR Android 13, and then Physical 14 and 15. And then a few days later, we got the EZAs for this Tech Super Saiyan Trunks and the STR Zamasu. So if we look at our boy Future Trunks, he's always been a unit that is good for like Super Battle Road when there's multiple enemies. His EZA is pretty solid. I'm looking forward to actually getting to test him out in game. Of course, one of the things you can do is go ahead and farm up a second copy of him to SA5, ready to feed in. Prime Battle LRs, it's a lot easier to farm up the second copy of them once they've been out for a while and they've had their like legendary campaign and stuff, because now his event actually does have bonus drops. So if we look at his event, you get increased drops for Future Saga and Androids. Obviously, if the unit is on both, it gives an even bigger buff. So it's actually quite easy to go through. You can get multiple copies of the card in one run, get the copy trained up to SA5, get multiple copies of these, and then obviously the annoying part is getting the 777 medals to awaken the second copy. I know a lot of people would rather just use Kais, but of course with an Extreme Z area you don't get Kais as a reward like you do for a normal Extreme Z battle. So for people who are really short on Kais, this is a way you can do this. Again, this event will be live once his EZA comes out, so if you don't want to waste keys, you can go ahead and just use stamina once the event comes out. I know a lot of people are struggling with the current chain battle, and having 2 copies of this guy is actually really useful for that. So you could farm up the second copy of him today to SA5 and then have a second copy for chain battle. But he definitely is going to be interesting. I think for me, I will probably just use Kais because I have so many of them, but I know a lot of people like to Dokkan responsibly wherever possible. And then we have, of course, the EZAs for 13 and 14 and 15. 13 becomes a really good defensive unit. He infinitely stacks. He's got damage reduction as long as you get 8 ki, which isn't too difficult to do on pretty much any team build. And then he gets a massive extra chunk of attack and defense when facing a Goku, Vegeta, Trunks, or Piccolo. So that's where you ideally want to use him. I don't think I would bother using him in an event where he's not going to get that extra stats, but this means that he can be used in both the Goku and the Vegeta events and be very good. He is on Target Goku, which gets a mission for the GT Goku event during the anniversary, so he's actually a really, really good option for that team. He's available from the barbershop, so again, if you have a ton of green gems, you can just buy 5 extra copies, get into SA5. Technically, he does have a farmable super attack as well, so you could just buy 1 copy and farm him up to SA5 and have a second copy ready to go. He also gets an extra buff if you have 14 and 15 in the same turn, and they are getting their EZA. They lower attack, which is nice. They do still have this super useful ability to foresee enemy super attacks for the entire rest of the battle, as long as you get them on turn with an untransformed Android 13. Only once. You just have to get them on the same turn with him 1 time, and then that ability is active for the entire thing. Then they get damage reduction and give allies attack and defense if you have Fusion Android 13 attacking in the same turn. So we probably need a new one of them at some point. The AGL one is still okay, but can't tank super well in the new hardest content in the game. But they obviously work really well alongside him. So these guys are pretty decent. Again, because they are both Extreme Z areas, you can't farm up the medals, but you can farm up an extra copy of these guys to SA5 ready to go. And they are going to be a decent addition to that team. Like, seeing the enemy super attack placements is probably one of the most powerful effects in the game. So obviously this is very, very useful. And then next up we have the 2 EZAs for the summonable units, the Tech Trunks and the STR Zamasu. Trunks is really good. Supreme damage, raises attack and defense for 6 turns, so you can get a couple of stacks off of this. He's got okay starting attack and defense, then he gets extra attack when performing a super. He gets extra attack and defense when there's only one enemy, or he gets a bunch of extra defense and a chance to guard, only a 30% annoyingly, when facing 2 or more enemies. So this last part can obviously be really, really good for Super Battle Road, and as we talked about in his own videos, this guy is a massive buff for physical future Gohan's EZA, because he needs to be on turn with a good Trunks. And this guy's EZA probably makes him like the best rotation partner for that Gohan. That rotation is going to be crazy, because in Super Battle Road, for example, both of them are going to be really, really strong defensively, whilst also putting out decent damage as well. So that rotation is going to be crazy. This guy EZAs, he's a sub-EZA, so he EZAs from the physical Vegito Blue Extreme Z Battle event. So you can pre-farm these medals. You have to go into the physical Vegito Blue event and replay the stages a bunch of times, either using keys or stamina. If you wait for, obviously, the day this comes out, the EZA will be available. His one might be available at the moment as well, actually. Using the EZA keys is great, because you don't use those keys for anything else. But obviously, if this one is currently available, you'd have to use stamina. And then, yeah, you have to replay the stages a bunch of times. It is a little bit annoying, because obviously you don't get any of the rewards again or anything like that. But this guy, definitely worth it. Very solid EZA. And then we have STR Zamasu. I don't know what they were thinking, EZAing both these guys at the same time, and then doing what they did to Trunks, and then doing what they did to this guy. So he raises attack and defense in 1 turn. Swing damage lowers defense. He gets attack and defense 60%, an additional 60% attack and defense, and attacked enemies attack minus 30% when performing a super. So he's got an alright buff of stats. Additional attack and defense 60% and recovers 10% HP whenever HP is 90% or below. And then he gets an additional 60% attack when the target enemy is in attack down status, defense down, stunned, or sealed. So obviously in Super Battle Road he could have some uses. He's getting a bunch of extra attack. Overall his defense isn't the best. He doesn't guard or anything like that. So he's just going off a decent defense number. So in difficult content, he's not going to be able to tank super attacks or anything like that. Zamasu units have always been a little bit wonky, because their links aren't the best outside of their own team with other like Zamasu or Goku Black units. A unit like this guy, for him to have been really useful, they threw a chance to guard on that Tech Trunks, almost seemingly out of nowhere. Whereas Zamasu has units already that have like damage reduction and are more defensive in general. I could definitely see him having been the one that had guard. Obviously we would have preferred guaranteed guard, but like high chance, something like that. Awesome damage reduction. Like he's a decent unit overall, but I can't imagine people like clamoring to use this guy. He EZAs from the medals from the AGL Rose Extreme Z battle, so just like the Trunks, you have to replay these stages if you want to get these medals, and you can obviously pre-farm these. So there you go, there's a bunch of stuff coming out in a couple of days time, a lot of stuff you can pre-farm if you want to be ready for it. If you've got nothing else to do in the game. Obviously there's a chain battle going on, there's always link leveling to be done. But here's some things that you can do to pass the time if you've got nothing else to do and you need to log in, because you know the anniversary on JP is winding down, so it's not quite as painful logging into Global at the moment. I'm still link leveling all of those fusion units. They're getting close to being done. So let me know what you guys have been up to in the game over these last couple of days. And if you are ready for all this new stuff coming, are you going to summon on the Trunks banner? Like I said, I will do a separate video all about that in the next day or so. So keep an eye out for that one. And let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Master Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below for the Discord and the merch store, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.